I'm Luke and I live life for adventures. So subscribe and join me on my next epic adventure. On this episode, we get into some epic fishing and land an amazing marlin. We arrive in Ulugamu and start our Maldivian adventure.
Don't know if you can see in there. We've got a nice big yellowfin here. I'm just about to get into a big serious fight.
Hard work. I have to wipe the sleep out of my eyes. And Eugene's fighting a giant fish. Sunrise. I'm not sure which day it is.
Day 8.
Nah,
The 9.
day 9. Lots of dolphin around the boat.
Never been this happy to see that the school starts filling up with line again. Yes, sir! Yeah. This is a big yellowfin. Go back, you big boy! Yeah!
You haven't even had time to wash your face yet.
I've still got the sleep running in my eyes. I'm fighting a smooth. 60 kilos.
Yeah. We're having a good morning, I would say. Lovely look.
Releasing it.
Woo, woo, woo.
We got just woken up by 2 big yellowfin. Eugene's one's really big, probably around 70 kilos. Mine was about 60. That's an interesting way to wake up. With a very high heart rate and a bit of sweatage. And we're probably going to club fuss again now.
Yeah, no, just...
Eugene's next though, my arms are broken.
It's a marlin on the line! Woo-hoo! Woo! Woo-hoo! She's going mad! Woo-hoo! Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo!
Well, Eugene is onto a marlin.
A huge one.
We're going to tag team this fish because we're both a little tired today. How are you feeling? You alright?
Just want to get some line back because I think she must have taken off about 1 kilometer of line easy. And look, we're down to the freight. We'll just have to work out the plan when we do hook to get the sail down as quick as possible. But that was pretty quick.
That was good. We got the spinnaker down quick.
Yeah. Wait for the floor.
So you have another kidney belt or something. So we're onto a marlin. Eugene's had a good go at it. It's my go. We fashioned a little bit of a harness, but I think it's a nice. I couldn't see the species. It's blue or black marlin, but it's a big fish. So we're gonna try and get some footage for you and get this fish safely released. And let's get into the boat.
I think we're still about easy 1,000 meters of line out before we even float to the boat. So yeah, that's gonna take a while. All right, so Luke, we'll check in a bit later.
Yeah.
I've got nowhere else to go with this. Look at the size of this fish.
Yes,
Try and film.
Okay, come stand right there in the front. Alright, you gotta be where I am. The camera must be up.
No, you won't die.
Okay, what must I do now? Try not to get the gap.
Wow! That's awesome!
That was a big marlin. Wow. And we released him. I saw him kick away, so he's okay. Blue marlin.
That's a nice one.
About 150 to 180 kilos. Beautiful fish. Back in the ocean. Good stuff, Choma. Well done, bro. Well, we just had another marlin strike. We fought it for 5 minutes and it threw the hooks, which we're both actually a little grateful for because we're quite tired from fighting these big yellowfin and marlin. But anyway, we're going dead downwind, about 5 knots, and the fishing is incredible. Marlin, dolphins, yellowfin, tuna, it's incredible. And to raise, you know, 2 bullfish like that with a little yacht like this, it still amazes me, man. It's incredible. I mean, sport fishing boats struggle to do that. Somehow we do it okay. We're pulling the lures like very close, 15 meters behind the boat because we're tired and we don't actually want to catch something big again. But if we do, we want film footage of the strike. So we brought the lures like really close to the boat, and we were like 10 seconds too late to get the strike on the daisy chain. But we'll get the next strike. We'll get the next one.
Good morning. So let's see what.
Really good morning.
We're about 2 days away, I think, from Maldives.
Yeah, we're about the 250 mile mark now.
Yeah.
So we were planning on arriving tomorrow, which is day 10. But it looks like day 11 is when we're going to arrive.
Because what's it? 4 days we had no wind. So
Yeah, and we
struggled
still
a
got
bit.
very light wind conditions. We're busy flying our downwind spinnaker.
So yeah, we'll just see.
Yeah.
But yeah.
We'll cruise into the Maldives nice and slowly. We just had a lot of things going on all at the same time. We're on our final approach into Lugamu. We're 15 nautical miles outside of the atoll on the northern approach into the Maldives. And we've also got a few rain squalls around us. We just got sort of missed slightly by one, and at the same time, with all this wind, our filters blocked up again. So I don't want to run into the atoll at all without our motor. It's just not safe to do that. So we managed to change the filters. We got the motor going. We're still sailing, motor sailing. And we've got sort of 3 hours until we go through a very narrow passage between 2 islands in the atoll to get into the atoll. Eugene's been up early this morning. He's done amazing work. He's got our cockpit cleaned. He's busy downstairs cleaning our fridges, getting the boat sort of ready for making landfall, which is excellent. I'm still wiping the sleep out of my eyes. Up all night. We've both been up all night for that matter. And it was a little hairy last night. Our spinnaker, we were flying a spinnaker all yesterday, and obviously the wind jacked up to about 20 knots, which means we have to bring the spinnaker sail down. Our spinnaker sail is the sail, a big yellow sail in the front. It's a downwind light sail. It can't handle heavy winds. And the bag that the spinnaker sits in, the way you lower the spinnaker is with a bag. It got stuck at the top, which meant that we had to turn up into the wind, drop the halyard at the top and get the sail onto deck. It was pretty dangerous stuff with us both being on deck in that sort of weather. But we got it done. Spinnaker's in its bag, it's in its hole. We'll deal with that stuckness later. And we've got the boat under control. Everything's should be fine going into the atoll. So we're arriving in the Maldives in the next 3 hours. And it's exciting times. We've made it to the Maldives.
10 days, 11 days.
We had lots of little bits of issues, but nothing major. I left my passport in Oman somehow.
After I've been
absolute ball ache. But we're having it FedEx from Muscat to Marlin, and our agents are going to handle it from there. But I'm sure it'll work itself out. But still,
we made it.
Arriving in a new country without your passport. But we're here.
Cheers!
Welcome to Maldives.
Our first few days in the Maldives, we dealt with the authorities, loaded fuel and water, and eventually got some rest.
Say hello, my friends.
Hello!
Okay, we're here with Mr. Hamid.
Yeah, that's correct.
Hamid. And you're from the Maldives.
Yeah,
You live here your whole life?
yeah, I'm from Maldives. I was born here and I'm living.
And then you were saying, what is the #1 food to try in the Maldives? Authentic food.
Soup, fish soup.
Fish soup.
Yeah, it's called garudia.
Garudia.
Plain rice.
Okay.
That's the most traditional
Soup
dish.
and rice together?
Yeah, mix it and you can eat with bare hand.
With bare hands?
Yeah.
Always eating with bare hands like India?
Most of the time. Yeah.
More flavor?
Yeah, more flavor.
So I would assume that most of the food here is fish.
Yeah, that's
So,
correct. In everything there will be fish.
Okay.
only.
So
Yeah.
fish is #1 here?
Yeah, yeah.
And this atoll has a capital town?
Each and every atoll have a capital.
Okay.
Yeah. Though this group of islands are geographically separated,
Okay.
as we have very less population, we have combined 2 atolls, geographical 2 atolls, and for the administrative purpose, we say 1 atoll.
Okay, I understand.
Yeah.
You like group the 2 atolls together
Yeah,
with
yeah.
1 capital. Okay. It's really good to meet you.
Yeah, yeah, too.
Excellent. Good morning from Genie. Our second day in the Maldives. We had a lot of sleep last night, a lot of rest. We were very tired. This morning we're going to get up, making a nice breakfast, and see where the day takes us.
So for the past 3 or 4 days or so, we had a water leak because the freshwater pump keeps running and we couldn't figure out. So this morning again I started unpacking everything and I found a leak. And that's a problem, child. Let's hope. Hey, what you up to, Lukey?
This is our little secondary fridge compressor, and it's not really running very well, so we have some refrigerant gas, and we're thinking of trying to fill it up again and then start running it again and see if it helps, but not really sure. We've never done this before, so we're going to try and see.
That's it.
Okay, so what we're doing is we're trying to figure out how our fuel system is working, because we obviously have very dirty tanks. We're blocking up our filters. So I'm here checking the fuel gauge. The gauge is working pretty well. These 2 here are the fuel pickups. This one obviously is in standby, it's not been used. This is our fuel pickup. That sucks the fuel out of the tanks, sends it to the filters and motor. And this is our return, which you can't remove from the tank. So I'm going to take these 2 pickups out. We're going to inspect them and see if they're blocked, see if they're nice and clean. And then the big job is probably going to get the fuel out, and we're going to try and polish the fuel and clean the fuel and filter the fuel into our tanks and then put it back. So that's our hot and sweaty plan for today. Let's see how this goes. We're busy pumping out our main diesel tank, and we're busy filtering it through a SOx system. You can actually see the particles that are coming out. We're going to take out probably 100 liters that's left in the tank by jerry can, which is at least 4 or 5 jerry cans, so this is going to take a long time. Right, so we're busy cleaning our fuel, and we've pretty much got the tank emptied for the first cycle. Don't know if you can see in there how dirty this stuff is. It's like granules This is not good for a motor and it's not good for the filters. So I'm really glad that we're doing this. But I think what we found is that our main issue is that our pickups inside the tank, sort of the spouts that run down into the tank that pick up the fuel, that suck the fuel towards the filters and motors, those were blocked. So we've now changed to our secondary pickup. The tank has two, and I think that's going to solve most of the problems. And with us cleaning the tank like this, I think we're going to be in a good spot. Our tank's as clean as we can, and let's hope our fuel issues are now over. Well, we've got our water and our fuel, and we're southbound with Ulugamu in our wake. We've spent a couple days here getting ourselves sorted out, and we're going to make our way down to Marlin nice and slowly through the atolls. But that's it for Ulugamu. We're going to go find a nice quiet anchorage tonight and make another plan for tomorrow. Today we're trying something really cool. Eugene has bought an underwater scooter. Look how cool this thing is. So basically you just hang on to it and it pulls you under the water. It's electrically driven, it has a single battery. I don't even know what it's called. It's called a nav bow. So I'm gonna get in the water now and try it out, see how this thing goes. Just anchored Genie about 100 meters off this beach. This will be our anchorage for the night, and it is beautiful. This is our first time ashore in the Maldives, so we're gonna have a quick squiz around this tiny island. We reckon it's about 200 meters by 100 meters, and then we're gonna get back to Genie's. So this is obviously an old resort that has been blasted by some sort of cyclone, and it's been sort of, you can see it's been sort of broken for a long time. There's something really eerie about walking through man-made, you know, man-made things when it's derelict and abandoned like this. There's something about it. There's like an airiness to it. I must admit, these villas must have been absolutely brilliant being on the water like this. I was just saying to the camera now how cool it is to be amongst greenery. You forget like that it's a thing. Been at sea for a long time and being in the Middle East for a long time where there's no bloody greenery.
You don't see green, you don't see grass, you don't see plants.
I mean, just to be in the coconut forest like this is amazing. We've literally walked across the island. That was about less than 100 meters. We're on the other side, on Genie's side again. Amazing, man. I love exploring like this. It's just the best.
Thank you for watching my epic adventures. Please support me by liking and subscribing to my YouTube channel.